whatever. And I think for some of us, because this is maybe our first time as entrepreneurs, we think that everything, if it doesn't hit the first time, you're a failure, or you did something wrong. And I want to make sure you guys all understand, like, maybe something that's unclear to you guys. I think one thing specifically I want to talk about, because I see these questions come up like all the time, and I see them come up in lots of other groups that are doing lead gen stuff as well. I think one of the most difficult parts for a lot of you guys that are just starting out is the niching process, like actually going through and deciding to get into a specific niche. And the reason why that's a lot of times that's difficult for you guys is because it's the one thing that I give you guys that is up to your interpretation. And so when we first started, for those of you guys that have been around a long time, many of you guys know that we actually picked the niche for you, and we made everyone go into the limousine niche. And very rapidly, we have the entire globe covered for limos, right? And it worked very, very well, but it also wasn't a perfect solution for everyone. And so when we redid the training, I moved it to letting you guys kind of pick your own niche. And so I see these questions come up like over and over and over again that, it's like, hey, I'm not sure if I should get into this or not. I'm not sure if it's low-hanging fruit. Just remember something, guys. It doesn't really matter if it's low-hanging fruit or not. When I give you guys the due diligence worksheet to go through, it's there to give you guys a little bit of a guide so you guys can make some sort of decision. But because it's up to your free will at this point, instead of me, like the rest of the training where I'm giving you literally every step of this process laid out, a lot of you guys are in a sense too afraid to even publish your first site and go into a niche because you're not sure if it will work or not. And so I wanted to start the call off with just talking about that really quick today, because I think people underestimate how often I get stuff wrong. And I think a lot of us, you guys will look to me and be like, well, Dan, you've been doing this for 10 years. How could you not, nail every niche? And, in business, man, it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of testing and learning and making mistakes over and over and over again in order to get the end result that I'm looking for, which is maybe more money in the door, another lead gen site producing, another business producing, whatever. And I think for some of us, because this is maybe our first time as entrepreneurs, we think that everything, if it doesn't hit the first time, you're a failure, or you did something wrong. And I want to make sure you guys all understand, like, I get this stuff wrong all the time to this day. The real key is not getting hung up on, little small mistakes or little things that happen here or there that didn't roll out perfectly. The biggest advice I can give you guys right off the bat is jump into a lot of niches at once. Get your feet and get your hands dirty into a lot of different niches quicker than just throwing one up. And you're going to continue to hear me say this over and over and over to you guys, but it is important. If you're giving yourself one shot to win and it doesn't go through and you're 60, 90 days out for this thing to hit, you get super discouraged. When you have so many things going at once, and you have so many different lead gens, being produced at once, and going through the ranking process, some are going to go faster than others, some are going to fail, some are going to win. And so the best piece of advice I could give to you is fail quicker, okay? Don't get so hung up on every little thing I talked to you guys about low-hanging fruit niches. Guys, just know that you guys can go into any niche with the skills that we teach and you can still dominate. So even if it didn't look exactly perfect to you, it doesn't mean that you can't, with the skills we have, become number one or be in that top spot. So don't beat yourself up too much about that and do nothing, which I think is what a lot of people end up doing. They literally, they end up just sitting on the sidelines so long because they're unsure. And I'm telling you guys, to this day, I have lead gen properties I just put up. Some of them are going to fail, even though they check the boxes of what I was looking for. Maybe they just, or maybe not even fail, but they're going to take longer than others, or they're going to, maybe I misjudged how much traffic that the niche was getting. It's okay. That's okay. You learn from that type of stuff. It makes you better overall. And guess what? Your failures, these lead gen properties that you get up, that maybe you didn't find a owner with right away, or doesn't rank right away. Guys, these are also case studies for you. These are things that you can utilize in your marketing messaging to show other people what you do and how you do it. So don't ever look at those, if you niche into something that maybe doesn't hit as quick as possible, don't look at those as you just failed. Get as many of these things up as possible at once when you first get going. I would suggest at a minimum 5, but I really like you guys to put 10 up, okay, right away. Every interview that I've ever done with anyone that's joined this group, and they're having some success, everyone says the same thing. I wish I would have done more quicker.